up here for a while. And, okay, see this? Shit like this. Shit like this is like, I know people have freedom of expression and all, freedom of speech, but part of me almost wants to kind of act like, well, you ever see that movie with Michael Douglas called Falling Down? Well, he was yelling at a couple old men at a golf course toward the end of the movie, but you almost want to tell people a thing or two. Like, people should be, I remember Michael Douglas, yelling at old men at a golf course, but you almost wanted to tell certain people that do this shit, like, anyway, Michael Douglas yelled at old men at a golf course. Yeah, there should be people out here, picnics here, and telling off, and in a movie he told off people that, yeah, sorry I invaded your territorial pissing ground. But anyway, my point is, people go to a place like this, a nice area to look at the river, and you see shit like this. It don't typically, like, mortify or offend me per se, but you know what, people need to grow up. People, matter of fact, there's buildings behind me under construction over here, which they're building it real nice. It never used to be here, but I can tell you, some of you people that know me that are looking at this on Facebook know the area this is. And, okay, people work real hard. I actually worked, well, before this COVID and all that, I had worked for a job agency where I did some help in construction, and in a way, I mean, if my agency handled it, I could have been, but I'm not helping, depend on the agency. Whatever, if an agency calls, I'd be doing that. So if they called my agency, I'd be helping these guys probably put things in buildings or clean up the mess, the electrician's mess. But my point is, people work fucking hard. They're getting paid wages and taxpayers to build shit like this or rework it, or like they're building buildings here, and you got stupid people that don't want to fucking grow up. They're doing shit like this. It's like, get a fucking life and grow up. This is just stupid. And then these are the kind of people that write shit on here like this and do that. They're the kind of people that think just because everybody lives in a nice building or a nicer house and maybe happens to have a nicer car, they're all scum, whatever you call them, but yet they worship the drug dealer that drives around in a car in gold chains or whatever. Oh no, they're not a member of the evil rich, these fucking hypocrites. The fucking hypocrites that, like, on the far left, and then you don't want to be too far right either. Oh, these kind of kids you see on the news, they're everything from doing vandalism and different protests. Okay, you can play ball with them out of a particular political level about, yeah, Republican, that far right, too far right, if they or for just the rich, and then the poor or the working class get out of paying minimum wage, and they want the old and the poor to jump off a cliff, or anybody that came from outside this country to jump off the cliff. And then you got the extreme left that, yeah, the rich that teaching these kids that usually are made up of, the far, far left are made up of kids that do shit like this. And they think everybody that's considered a yuppie or whatever should jump off a cliff, and everything, and even free drugs given to the poor. Legalization of all drugs, and they hate the police and want the police to jump off the cliff, because you get some police that go overboard, but yet they have this code of hypocrisy where, oh yeah, do away with the police, but put in another type of rule out there that, that's instead of the police, that where they have no problem with putting somebody else in rule of a city or a town that you can get your ass kicked or shot. The same brutality they say that the police do. And don't get me wrong, I was in a particular town, I talked about it too, where, because of he said, she said, the last town I lived in a year ago, police patted me down, threatened to knock my ass out, police threatening violence and threatened to knock my ass out because he said, she said I was, quote, walking around, roaming the streets drunk and all that. And hell, I was right by I lived by the police station, and every year I did charity work carrying um, with a dolly boxes of stuffed animals and puppets or whatever to display for kids or whatever. And people knew fucking well, so that town is a whole different, that's a whole other story. But anyway, the hypocrisy I see, like not like you want to stick up for the police or whatever, but yeah, anybody that wants to do away with the police and say that the police are violent, brutality or whatever, but yet people that like to do shit like this and do graffiti like this, and yeah, do away the police and do all the drugs you want, and then if you piss particular people off, they can get their street daddy or thug daddy or whatever to go beat you up or shoot you, and they indicate if that happens, you brought that on yourself. So yeah, what the fuck are we gonna do? Do away with the police, and then some other kind of ruling platform, put in another kind of ruling platform where just because somebody else says so goes, and just because somebody has the guns or the whatever the hell, you know what I mean? Yeah, hypocrites. Yeah, same ones that want to, not that I'm sticking up for, I don't care for authoritarianism and people that, yeah, there's people out there, to get me wrong, yeah, they think 911 is their own private calling line, that they just somebody that has long hair or a ponytail, and sometimes, yeah, the wrong color or whatever, in some cases, somebody they don't like, and go and get him in some kind of damn trouble or whatever, don't get me wrong, but then you got the extreme other side. If you don't worship them, you can get beat up or whatever. You don't buy drugs from their friends or whatever, they don't like the police, but they could be. Yeah, well, you want a world full of this? Anyway, yeah, I went over a little bit off the subject, but that's the kind of, it's not completely off the subject. The kind of people you see on the news that are saying they want to do away with police completely, do away with this or that. They don't like, even though I can't stand the extreme religions with the fancy cars and everything else and airplanes and telling me how my life is going to be, that have all fancy-ass cars and airplanes where local charities barely make it, that too. But then, yeah, anyway, these kind of people that do all this graffiti shit, they want legalization of all drugs, no police. They want their street daddy to make all the rules, like some kind of communist daddy or whatever. And even though just because of religion wrong, no religion, they don't really want no freedom or religion or speech or any God to be above whoever they put in power or whatever. Yeah, these are the kind of people that do shit like this in like large crowds, that have been doing that to places like Seattle and Portland and everything. These are the fucking people that want to tell you and me what to do and tell me how my life is going to be. Right there. You know what I mean? Yeah, all I know is what I can't stick up for. I don't give a fuck if Biden becomes president or not. In a way, if he was smart, I don't got to give a fuck. Not that I'm defending Trump, but I ain't. Yeah, you think I'm supposed to worship Joe Biden, even though everybody says, yeah, if he gets in, I don't really give a fuck. I mean, it's what, am I supposed to fall and worship him or whatever? Oh, and if I don't do that, I guess I am MAGA and pro-Trump. Fuck you. But yeah, All I know is that no matter who becomes president, my point is there are people out there that doing construction over there behind me while my ass is standing here making a video, okay? Yeah, and people do construction work behind me to make something nice. They get paid even though I don't think they come here to build this shit and rebuild stuff so people can do fucking shit like this. And then people that do fucking shit like this are the ones that want to put they're the ones that want to vote our leaders in and assume that the leaders they put in are gonna do what they say, and they want to. And these are the kind of people that want to tell me how my life is going to be. Fuck that. I say fuck that. Yeah, really. But